Hi and welcome to LTD24ORE.com Business School. Today, we are going to talk about what is a shareholders agreement. It's a contract between the shareholders that sets out the rights and responsibilities of the shareholders. This agreement only applies to companies with more than one shareholder. Generally, a shareholders agreement can set out how many shares do each shareholder, or the rights and responsibilities applicable to different share class, whether there are different classes of shares. For example, the Class A shares can give full voting rights and dividends, while Class B shares can give just right to a dividends, but not voting rights. Furthermore, a shareholders agreement can set out whether or not the company is able to issue additional shares in the future. And if so, whether current or existing shareholders could have their shares diluted or whether they could buy more shares to keep their share percentage. A shareholders agreement could also set out how new shareholders may join the company, how existing shareholders can leave the company, whether a shareholder could ever be forced out of a company, and what happens if a shareholder was to die. And some shareholders agreement even have clause like drag-along rights. That is special provision that enables a majority shareholder to force a minority shareholder to join in the sale of a company. So what are the advantages of a shareholders agreement? The main advantage is that it sets out the rights and responsibilities between shareholders. This agreement can be instrumental in preventing disputes. You should know that this agreement is not required by the law, but it's strongly recommended to draft it to prevent disputes. For example, you may have an employee who has been promised that if they work in the company for a certain period of time, that they're going to be given shares. If that's the case, you can set out this clause in the shareholders agreement using what's called a share vesting regime. So, on the completion of a certain number of months or years of work, that they are vested or granted certain shares in the company. There are many situations that could be regulated with the shareholders agreement. I hope you found that useful. If you do want to draw up it yourself, that's fine. Just download our standard template. But just bear in mind that it is complex and there can be issues that arise. Anyway, I hope you have found that helpful. Thanks very much.